we can't access the lower area, so therefore we can't clear it. That is a problem. So we may as well check all of our bottles, because we do have a lot. So let's have a look. We have indeed seen Ryder's message in the previous video. Miiverse don't go, sad face. Seriously? They're getting rid of the Miiverse. That is bad, because... Hold on. Miiverse? Does that mean that online capabilities will disappear? I'm not too sure what it means by Miiverse, because if... What does that mean? I'll have to check that out before... Well, not before the end of this video, but after this video is finished. I'll have to check that out to see what that means. Because if it just means, you know, all the stupid me crap, then I couldn't give a damn. But if it actually links directly to your ability to play online in this game, then that's going to be annoying. That would really suck. Because you can see that this is somehow linked to the Miiverse, like, I don't know, isn't it? Because when I click on this, right, it gives me an option to go to the Miiverse, so it might be, these might be posted on the Miiverse and they link to the game. So if these disappear, then that's going to be super sad, because this is such a nice thing that exists in the game. Like, you would just be... The game would be hollow without... Well, it's not going to be hollow without it, but... I mean, it's still a great game on its own, but this is just a really nice aspect of the game, so that would be a real shame if they got rid of that. But, anyway... I don't know if I'm going to yeah that, but... Anyway. Dang it, Miiverse, sad face. So much... To whoever reads, or rather receives this message, you will have infinite luck. Okay, you are Ryder, and you have been posting a lot of these bottles. So we did actually get a message from someone called Miiverse Sadface, and I suppose now I realise why the person named himself Miiverse Sadface. I started to get the idea when I saw, you know, Miiverse don't go Sadface, dang it Miiverse Sadface. There's a lot of sadness going on about Miiverse, and, you know, obviously I don't exactly have my finger to the pulse as far as the, I guess, online capabilities of the Wii U are concerned, but I don't really know what that's going to mean for us, but anyway. It is the 19th of October 2017 as I'm talking about this. Now, the title of this video is going to more or less describe what I will be talking about. As you may have noticed in the previous two videos, I was kind of coming to the realization that the Miiverse was closing based on the messages in the Tingle bottles. Now, I immediately thought, okay, how is the Miiverse closing actually going to affect Wind Waker HD? I knew that there was definitely a possibility that the Tingle bottles were going to be directly affected by the Miiverse disappearing. And when I looked online, I found out that that is exactly what will be happening. Tingle bottles will be no more, unfortunately, when the Miiverse closes, because it is indeed directly linked to the Miiverse. So, yeah, excellent. Thanks, Nintendo, for abandoning us already, you know? I mean, what do you think you're doing? Let's be real, there are people who really do love Nintendo, and I'm kind of on the fence. I don't love anyone. I don't love Microsoft, I don't love Sony, I don't love Nintendo. I just play nice games and record them if I want to, because I enjoy doing that, but it's so unfair to all the people who have just, you know, supported you from the get-go with the Wii U and continue to support it and still enjoy the games that rely on the Miiverse. And then there's also the fact that there's like a community existing in the Miiverse that is kind of having its life cut short for no real good reason, just because Nintendo is not really comfortable with the whole Wii U thing. They've got the Switch now, and now they think they're just going to drop the Wii U in the shithole, because it doesn't need to exist anymore, in any form, really. They can't escape the fact that they've already manufactured the Wii U products. If they could turn back time and do that, I'm sure they would, because it's seeming like they want to be doing something like that. They want to be turning back the clocks and pretend that, oh, chill the fuck out, mate. Anyway. Obviously, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, not even paying attention to where I'm sailing to. But, yeah, it bothers me, because in my mind, there's no need to drop all support for the Wii U so soon after the Switch has come out. It only came out this year, fellas. And you're already abandoning the Wii U in every single way. even though there are still people who are supporting it and are interested in it. And I'm sure there's money involved there too. So it just seems like a real shame to me to just be dropping all support for it so soon. Of course the support's not going to remain forever, but this is not an old game that I'm playing right now. I believe that Twilight Princess is also going to be affected in some way. I would not be surprised if they have a similar system to that of Tingle Bottles. It's obviously not going to be the same. You know, it could be anything, like, you know, birds delivering letters or some shit, you don't know. I don't know how it is because I haven't looked into Twilight Princess HD at all, but I am very interested in recording that, because I'm very interested in playing that. But I'm really worried that I'm going to miss out on something like that, which makes me upset. Twilight Princess is not an old game like the HD version. Of course the original one is, but the HD version is relatively new, and I looked at a list of games that are going to be directly affected by this Miiverse closing. Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD were on that list, and, you know, Twilight Princess HD is not an old enough game to be having its functionality taken away by the Miiverse closing down. That's my belief. Even this game is not old enough to warrant that crap. But even more so, is it ridiculous for that to be the case with Twilight Princess HD. So, you know, I can speak from my perspective, I can definitely also speak from the perspective of other people, but I don't really want to do that because I'm not one of those people, so therefore my opinion probably doesn't hold quite as much weight as someone who's personally describing their experience with the Miiverse. I never used the Miiverse, I'm going to be real with you. The only way that I've used the Miiverse is in this game. But what I can see, despite that, is Nintendo doing something that they don't need to do, and doing something that is actually hurting a community of people who support them. So, in my opinion, what they're doing is not right, and it is affecting me negatively as well, because it's affecting my Let's Play at this stage, it's affecting my experience playing this game, or rather it's going to, because this is a frickin' great feature, these Tingle Bottles, and I'm going to go read them now. These things right here, these are not going to exist soon. So this person is upset that that's getting closed, I'm sure, going, no, sad face. And yeah, you know, I mean, this is just really a nice thing, because even though this isn't a multiplayer game, you feel like you're playing with other people, because you are. The Tingle Bottles is basically connecting everyone in some way, even though it's not like massively multiplayer. Like, I can't see other people going around doing their adventure, you probably wouldn't want that anyway. But you don't need something like that to feel like you're playing with other people. You can have something as simple as these Tingle Bottles, and all of a sudden everyone's playing together. And, you know, they're sharing each other's experiences. Did I miss that bottle? Oh no, I don't think I did. I just picked up that one again. Okay. But, you know, I think it is such a shame to get rid of that, and once again, I don't really know what it is that I'm going to be missing out on in Twilight Princess HD, but they must have a similar feature, because it was on the list, and, you know, I'm not going to be able to experience that. I'm not going to go out and get Twilight Princess HD tomorrow and play it, just so that I can experience that for a brief moment in time, because I don't want to start another Let's Play. And I don't want to play Twilight Princess HD, like, for the first time without recording, so, yeah. It's just not ideal at all. And once again, Twilight Princess HD is not an old game, so I don't know what is going on here. And why Nintendo... I mean, someone really worded it quite well online. Nintendo is treating this whole Wii U thing like a bad breakup. And, you know, like they're cutting their exes out of all their family photos or whatever. And yeah, that's kind of what it is, you know. They're just trying to completely close the curtain on the history that they've had with the Wii U. And I don't think that's necessary, because I think the Wii U is a nice console. The Wii U is probably what I use the most. I mean, honestly, I don't really play on the PS3 anymore. I don't play on the 360, but I do play on the Wii U. There are some great games on this system. And the system itself is rather nice. There's nothing that I can really say to fault the system itself, really. But unfortunately, it just didn't do well with other people. You know why it didn't do well? The thing is, they're comparing the sales of the Wii U directly to the sales of the Wii. Now, the Wii came at a time when it was innovative. You have to understand, I mean, you know, swinging the Wiimote around in 2006 was pretty frickin' exciting. You know, oh, look at this thing, I can point the Wiimote at the screen and I'm interacting with the screen. What an interesting controller. This was a technological advancement, not just in gaming, but in technology in general, so a lot of people were interested. And the family-friendly nature of that opened the doors even further, so therefore the Wii did really well when it came out. And I witnessed that firsthand, how well that went. And I can tell you from that first-hand experience that it was because of the fact that it was just this big technological advancement. But what is the technological advancement in the Wii U? It's a more advanced version indeed than the Wii, but compare it to everything else that exists at the moment. When you compare the Wii to what was there at the time it came out, it was an advancement. It was actually really interesting, and it took people's attention, and therefore it sold well. For that reason, it's obviously going to do a lot better than the Wii U, so I think they're being unfair to themselves. I'm not necessarily coming up with any great arguments here or anything like that. I'm just picking up tingle bottles and just kind of giving you my personal opinion on this scenario, because I am not impressed with this. I'm really not. The reason why I'm playing right now, and the reason why I think I'm going to escalate my play of this game, is because I want to get on camera as much of the tingle bottle feature as I can. Because you have to admit, it's pretty nice that I'm at least able to do that now. Had I decided to record this game a year later than I did, I wouldn't have been able to do that. Because I started recording this in November of 2016, I think. What if I started in November of 2017? That's when the Miiverse is shutting down. So I made the right decision to start playing this game a year ago, and I was able to record the experience of the tingle bottles, which unfortunately people who get into this game later will not be able to experience. I could have easily been one of those people to experience this game later when that feature disappeared. And once again, I'm not surprised that the functionality, or rather the feature, is going to disappear. I don't have an issue with that. What I have an issue with is it being abandoned so soon. At least give people a chance to, I don't know, give it a nice farewell. Yeah, I think Nintendo has made a poor decision here. I think they're being a little bit too ruthless with their own failures. You know, if you're gonna fail, then at least try to keep your fans happy. You know? If your hardware's failing, then at least try and keep the thing that's not failing from failing. Because if you fuck up your relationship with your fans, what are you going to have left? You tell me. That's pretty sensible, I think, to try and not rub your fans the wrong way. And then maybe some of you will say, oh, well, what? They're going to stop playing Nintendo games? They're going to boycott Nintendo? Probably not. But at the very least, I think any game company, especially if it's like Nintendo that has a very specific sort of community, I think they should really strive to not just completely drop their community in the dirt like that. That's what I believe.